and what a fantastic venue that is. We did ask them if they could put the trots on for us today, but would have been good. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Tristan Pang to you all today. Tristan, some of you may remember him from the TEDx talks for the youth talks. So at 12 years of age, he was the youngest speaker at the youth TEDx. Last year, he received an A grade in his Cambridge A-level mathematics examination, normally taken by Year 13 students. This year, he's completed Stage 1 Maths at Auckland University and embarked on Stage 2 in the second semester of 2014. Tristan was the youngest presenter at the Festival of Education earlier this year, where he presented his vision to a large audience both in the program and at the conference festival dinner. And I saw that, Tristan, it was very, very good. When Tristan was speaking at a Decile 1 school, Careers Day, he was asked by a student if he could help them with their mathematics. In response, he set up the Tristan's Learning Hub, which contains 30 Khan Academy learning style lessons created by himself and put online for others to learn. How many people are following you on that? Do you know?
A lot.
Good answer. Tristan spoke to 900 students and teachers at Manurewa Intermediate School about his aspirations, learning style and a vision to help others. Tristan is also the head boy at Fashino School. It gives me a very pleasure to warmly welcome Tristan.
Thank you for the great introduction. Well, good afternoon, principals, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually a bit nervous standing in front of a group of so many principals, but luckily, my awesome headmaster, Mr. Crompton, always spares some time to talk to me, so I know that principals aren't that scary. It's a great honour to be standing here today, as in the normal circumstances, it's the principal standing on the stage and the students sitting down and listening. But now it's the reverse. I feel surreal. So I seldom tell people what I'm studying, unless they ask me, because I noticed that at least 90% of the people look confused after hearing my answer. But today is different. Everyone here is highly intelligent. So let me introduce myself and tell you a bit about what I've been up to. Last year, I completed the Year 13 Maths exams, which enabled me to get into the University of Auckland at the beginning of this year. I took 2 maths papers, and the current mark for my Stage 2 maths paper is 99%. So this year, I've been both a student at the University of Auckland and also at Fashino School. I also self-study some Cambridge Year 11 and Year 12 English and Physics. And I've just finished all these exams last week. So it's Year 8, Year 11, Year 12, Uni Stage 1 and Uni Stage 2. At this point, I can normally see baffled faces on people's faces. But I don't see any here today. So it has been a very busy year for me. Besides academic things, I had numerous talks and interviews, and I actively helped the New Zealand Association for Gifted Children. I have also set up 2 websites for electronical-based learning. I produce maths lesson videos for uploading from time to time. Firstly, Tristan's Learning Hub. After giving a talk at Poyntington School, the students asked if I could teach them maths. I thought about it, but I was busy with school and university classes. So I decided, with encouragement from my mentor, Angie Paston, who is here today, to make a website. I spent the previous summer holidays making this. I make lessons from time to time and upload these to Tristan's Learning Hub. At first, I wasn't sure if it was working or not. However, the feedback I received was very encouraging. One 12-year-old viewer told me that she felt smart in front of her whole class when the teacher asked about the total interior angles of a triangle. She was the only one who could answer the question because she had watched my video the day before. Another example is a woman who had a fear of maths. And after watching my feature on TV, she wrote, saying that she was very curious to how a young boy went about learning and teaching himself and others on how to understand maths. She then went to my website and has finished geometry lessons 1 and lesson 2. She enjoyed it, so she wanted to let me know. She also said she is going to go through each lesson one by one until she understands what I teach, despite the fear of maths. She believes she can do it with a boy like me online, helping people to think about what maths is all about. She kept thanking me for my help and allowing people like her to realize that perhaps they could learn the mysteries of maths. Also, I'm delighted to know that some schools have put my website onto their school resource learning list. Some of you may have seen the montage video at the Festival of Education in March this year. Would you like to see it now?
Yes. There it is.
Hello, I'm Tristan, and thanks for stopping by my Learning Hub. Today, we're going to be looking at geometry. In this lesson, we will be looking at triangles. So what is a triangle? What does the word triangle mean? Well, tri means 3, and angle means an angle, which is the space between a corner, or the space between 2 sides. So that means, effectively, triangle means 3 angles, or 3 corners. So there's 1 corner, 2 corners, and 3 corners. Yay! So the Pythagoras theorem states that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. And this also means that c is equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared. But this is the main form we'll be using for now. Then we can, after all that moving, we can happily say that r sine x plus alpha in brackets is equal to a sine x plus b cos x, where r equals that and alpha equals that. So that's all. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye. So as you can see, I go through maths topics strand by strand using videos. So in the example you saw, I started off with a topic such as triangles, and then I progressed up the strand and capped it off with trigonometry. The learners will be surprised how quickly and how easily they can grasp the concept by adopting this vertical approach to learning. This is the reason why I didn't specify the year levels in the videos, to remove the psychological barriers of the learner. The other website is Quest Fun. After the talks at the school, I realized that peer-to-peer influence actually exists and is indeed a very powerful tool. I received lots of positive comments saying that they were inspired by me. They were inspired in a way that they started to believe in themselves. I'm very pleased to know that some of them have started to plan their own future. Some of them have planned their goals as becoming an athlete or programmer. So I created Quest Fun with the aim of letting more and more young people know that they should have confidence in themselves. We should set goals for ourselves and follow our passion. Because of multi-level studying, people always ask me what I think about learning and education. In our existing education system, the same topic is scattered over a number of years, and there are also jumps between each topic. I know some of my friends find it hard to find the connections between each topic. To me, this method is like reading a chapter of a storybook every year, and you have to wait until the next year to find out what happens next. It's extremely frustrating. As for me, I'd like to understand the whole story and achieve a complete ending. I have an own way of learning. I call it vertical and in-depth learning. I started my education pathway before I was 2. I knew nothing about what year levels meant. I simply kept exploring upwards in a very in-depth manner. When I was nearly 5, I started to go through the maths topics strand by strand. The strands are number, measurement, geometry, algebra, and statistics. When I finished the strand of number, from the year 1 to the year 13 book, I then moved on to the strand of geometry, and so on. Because I was eager to find out what happens next in the strand story, I finished all 13 books in only a couple of weeks. I then had many years to strengthen knowledge and skills on the harder topics. In the recent Mensa's interview, the interviewer asked me what makes a great teacher. I think that this is a very good question, and I would like to share with you my answer. Though it might be a bit odd to talk about this topic in front of a whole group of experts. In my opinion, a great teacher is a person who can support a student's curiosity and foster the love of learning. Knowledge will definitely result from this learning. We're living in the 21st century digital age, and all facts and knowledge can easily be obtained from the internet. We need the teacher to inspire and influence us to explore the world and follow our passions, instead of the teacher spoon-feeding us. We'll then become lifelong learners. So we need to learn how to learn, or to be more exact, we need to love learning. In my opinion, the world is changing so rapidly that by the time we leave school, all the things we've learned may already be outdated. If we have a love of learning, we'll just follow our passions to keep learning on our own. We'll then be able to face new challenges independently. A love of learning has to be the most important trait that a teacher can impart to a student. I'm lucky enough to have many great teachers who inspire me to love learning. Another interesting question they asked me was, if you were in government and had $1 billion surplus, what would you do with it? If I were in government, I would spend money on education because children are New Zealand's future. I believe we still cling onto an outdated education system. It may have worked in the last century, but not now. I believe that the 21st century is truly the digital age, and it has fundamentally changed everything. Technology enables us not only to learn more, but to learn more effectively at our own pace. If our schools embrace the e-learning global trend, I believe that our education standards will be lifted significantly. So I will spend 1/3 of my $1 billion on improving the internet network, buying enough digital devices for all schools and students, training teachers to use technology, investing money into education software, and so on and so forth. The second third of my budget will be spent on implementing the flipped classroom model, where students do the conceptual learning at home and class time is used for problem solving and discussions. They can watch their teachers' pre-recorded videos, Khan Academy, TED videos, or even Tristan's Learning Hub. And at school, they do their homework with the teacher as the facilitator. They can find learning more interesting, as they can take in a more active role. I've read Sel Khan's book, The One World Schoolhouse, and this has supported my idea of making Tristan's Learning Hub. Sel Khan has 15 million students using his website at any point in time, and more than 2 billion lessons having been downloaded in just 3 years. He is clearly doing something right that connects with students like myself. The third portion of my budget will be spent on education reward program at a low discount schools. This reward is something that meets people's basic needs, that is, food. Students who do well at school, for example, getting good marks accumulated weekly, or 100% attendance during the week, will go home with a basket of food on Friday instead of getting a paper certificate. If a child behaves well or works hard at school, he or she will help the whole family and they'll feel proud. They will also learn that working hard and behaving well is rewarding. So these family members will become good citizens. This reward program can achieve 2 goals. The first is food for the whole family, and the second is learning to be a responsible person. I've actually submitted my idea to the Auckland Council, but I'm not sure if they will implement the idea. But I'll definitely make it happen. I'll set up a charitable foundation very soon and supply low-decile schools with non-perishable food for good students to take home. The initial funding will probably come from the sales of my book. So where do I go on from here? Well, as for my academic pursuits, I haven't decided what other papers I'm going to take at university next year. In terms of choosing a science major, I'm leaning towards medicinal chemistry, because this can help so many people. I'm also interested in physics, and maybe research on astronomy to help solve global issues. I'm quite attracted to the new program called Science Scholars, being offered at the University of Auckland and is going to launch next year. The program is run by one of my favourite scientists, Dr. Kaysa Simpson, the head of the Photon Factory. She explained that there are more than 1,000 students in the science faculty every year, and the one sitting in the right corner of the lecture theatre may not know the one sitting in the left, even though they may have similar thinkings. Her program aims to bring these like-minded people together and train them to work and think like research scientists as they work towards their Bachelor of Science. I know it's not easy to enter this program, but I'll certainly try. Besides my studying, I'll keep on writing a book, implementing the reward program. I will also keep on with the masked videos with some modifications on format, such as adding some interesting elements like animations and interactive features. I'll also keep working on the 40th anniversary special project of the New Zealand Association for Gifted Children. I hope that there will be more support and awareness of the needs of gifted children. I'll leave some flyers here, and I hope your school will come and join us next July at the University of Waikato. Since I'm not going to any high school next year, my time will be much more flexible by then. I follow my mentor, Andrew's footsteps, which is going to go to schools regularly. To be more exact, each Monday next year, I'll accompany him to the schools he is visiting, while he is delivering the confidence building program, which he has developed to the students he is working with. I'll help other students with maths or deliver talks. I'm deeply moved by Andrew's passion for unlocking the full potential of young people. All this work is not related to his own job. He uses his own time to help people unconditionally because he believes that young people are New Zealand's future. I hope we can visit lots of schools. I want to inspire other students to achieve their goals too. I really can't wait to get started. So finally, I like our education system. It's very balanced in its approach. Academics, sports, music, and personal development are equally weighted. But I admit I'm a bit greedy. I want to have a better New Zealand and a better quality of life for everyone in the future. I believe education is crucial to achieving this goal. With higher education, people can earn their own living and become more responsible citizens. There's an old African proverb that says, it takes a village to raise a child. In my village, I've been very fortunate to have lots of people support me in my education. Today, I represent all the other children in this country who want that same opportunity for themselves. I believe principals are the most important people in this country. You all have a very important role to play, as the people can shape and mould our lives and destiny, which obviously has a big impact on shaping the world. My hope is that we can all work together to deliver that opportunity to all young people. I believe we can. Thank you.
not often you follow someone of your stature. And you certainly know your audience when you compliment them by saying that they're highly intelligent, so well done for that. Often we talk about multi-levelling students. You've just given a new definition to multi-levelling. Often in our schools we think multi-levelling's over a couple of years rather than potentially generations. One of the things, I did a bit of research on your Learning Hub last evening. See that you're now up to 33 lessons. And one of the things that struck me was your sense of humour in those lessons. And I had a look at the first one, and when you were describing what an oval was and then started getting a bit carried away by putting peas because you were making the connection with plates and carrot and, oh, I better stop or else I'll get too carried away. So it was really great to see that sense of humour coming through, and also from what you've talked about today was a real a theme of helping others. You're definitely not someone who just thinks about yourself. You've challenged us. I don't think I've ever been in a room where there's been so much nervous laughter after seeing a little bit of maths on the screen. I know there was no nervous laughter after the triangle lessons. That was lesson 1 on this hub. You know, and the other one was only lesson 6. It's up to 33. You have challenged us, especially around your concept of vertical and in-depth learning, and that your passion around curiosity. And when you talked about what a great teacher is, I think you are an example of what a great teacher is, because you inspire other people not only by your example, but what you are thinking about all of the time, and that's about other people, other learners, not only ones that you know, but across our country. I just have one question. After your budgetary announcements, when are you starting your own political party? With your emphasis on education, I think you probably get quite a number of votes. So it gives me great pleasure on behalf of the Auckland Primary Principals Association to thank you so much for inspiring us, challenging us, and we look forward to seeing you in lots of our schools, inspiring our learners in the years to come. Thanks, Tristan.